Okay, guys, let's get into it. Right now, what you see me doing is cutting off the flaps of just a regular box. I think I picked it up at my local Dollar General or someplace. Okay, so initially, I thought I was going to go ahead and wrap this box in a green paper, but then I started examining this paper, and let me tell you, it was really cheap. So what I did was I went ahead and I switched to some of my bulletin board paper that I explained in a previous video that I'm using like wrapping paper. I don't know. It's just a little bit sturdier and much easier to work with. So here I am measuring, wrapping my box. I don't use any exact measurements. I just kind of eyeball everything. That is just a butter knife that I'm using instead of a scissors. It gives me a much cleaner edge than a scissors, and it's much easier to use as we could just use it with one hand. Okay, so I'm trying to get my flaps just as straight as possible and get them all creased so I could go ahead and get them taped down. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, if you notice, there's a little bit gap in between because the paper wasn't exactly wide enough, but it's okay. I have a fix for that. What I did was I just cut another piece of paper, slipped it right in between the folds, and voila, there you have it. Okay, so what I needed was a base for this box. Well, actually, a backer. I'm creating the backer before the base. I just took a piece of foam board, measured it out, and I had some copy paper, construction paper. And instead of wrapping it, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just use this paper. And I just folded it over, taping it down. Again, it's just for a backer. So we want it to be neat, but really what I'm interested in is just the color. You're really not going to be able to see it too much, but if anything peeps through, I want it to definitely be color coordinated. Okay, so taping it up still. There's a little bit of white at the bottom, not to worry. I'm sliding it right down in that box, and there you go. I went ahead and took the liberty of stuffing the box with some paper, some craft paper I just had balled up. Now what I'm doing is tracing a piece of cardboard using the bottom of the box. And what I'm going to do is create a base. When I say a base, it's going to go in the top of the box, and that's what my items are going to sit on. All right, and let's see if that fits, and voila, it does. Great. Now, my items can sit in that box really sturdy. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take a piece of that paper, and I'm going to kind of cover it up again, just so my base will be color coordinated in case there's any holes or anything that I don't cover up with the shred, that it'll be color coordinated with the backer. Well, there you go, guys. I think that came out pretty neat. Okay. I needed a riser, so I just took some cut up cardboard, taped it together, and made a riser. The reason why I want this riser is so my slippers could sit flush on there and they won't hang. I did tie them with some fishing wire, or fishing line rather, so that slippers won't slip down. But as you see here, Just for a little extra security, I am going to take my trusty tag gun and I'm going to attach the slippers. But before I do, I'm just checking out the scale of everything. I think that's where we're going to set that cup. And I'm going to need another little riser in there. That's just a box that I had and I wrapped, taking some hot glue, putting it on there, and securing it so my items, again, will be able to sit up just a little taller. Again, the scale looks good. The cup, this body scrub, and the body, I think that is a wash. That's what it is, a foam wash. Everything sits good in there. Taking my green loofah, okay, just to give it a little pop of color. Filling up a little hole there. I'm going to go ahead and put my prayer cards down. Putting a little bit tape on there to hold those cards. Just taping it right onto the cup. Tape is very transparent. You won't be able to see it, but that's going to give me an extra security. Again, there's a little hole there. Didn't want to put any more items, so I balled up a piece of paper. There you can see it. Just enough to have my flower sit on. All right, great. Last but not least, always filling in the holes with a little shred. I wanted some contrasting colors, so I went ahead and took some green to match that body loofah. And we're going to go ahead and fill in the holes in this box. If you notice on the back there, what I did was I taped the size of the slippers on the back. They are medium large, and that's just to keep customers from asking you what size they are. I thought I would embellish the front of this box a little bit, so what you see here is my cutter, and I'm cutting out some words to embellish the front of that box. And there it is on my transparent tape. Very gently putting that on the front of the box. This step you have to be very gently because remember that box is wrapped in paper. So when you pull your transparent tape, you have to be really careful not to damage the paper. Okay? So there you have it. It says you're my main squeeze. And then I am putting an applique on there that is a lemon. And because the theme of this basket is lemons, I thought that would be really cute. It matches the cup perfectly. Notice it doesn't say Happy Mother's Day, so it could be for anybody. That's another one I made that says Squeeze the Day. There it is, all wrapped up and bowed up. And that's the finished product of the second one. Have my little slippers in there. Decided to do some green and yellow just to tie it in. And there you have it. Okay, guys, this is Crystal with a basket case. Bye for now.